If you guys need any cards, packs, sleeves, anything of that nature, shop on TCG Player using my affiliate link in the description.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back. You may have heard that I recently took first place at MBT and Nim Nim's tournament that was held in Pittsburgh this weekend. It was a very hype event, lots of cool people. Everyone was very nice. I had a ton of fun. Of course, Gage and Joseph were great. Really cool people to meet in person, all of that. So we're going to be doing the deck profile that I won with, which was the Moja Cat deck. Probably saw it on stream. If you didn't check out the stream, you should definitely go watch that on Twitch. It's on Nim Nim's Twitch. I watched back the whole VOD afterwards. It was a ton of fun, great commentary, and all of that. So let's go over maybe let's talk about my run first.
Yeah.
So
you want to talk about why you chose the deck?
Why I chose? No, we don't need to talk about why right now. I told people why on stream, and it was not a very good reason. But yeah. So round one, I played on feature match against Hero Beat, which is kind of like the big popular deck in the format right now. And let's see what happened. Game one, we just kind of drew solid and won, I think. Game two, we got dust shooted going second, and we got owned. And then game three, kind of same deal as game one. We drew Iron Wall, and we just that carried us to victory. Iron Wall very good against the hero matchup. I'm gonna talk about it more when I get into the side deck. Then round two, we played against the Joshua Schmidt quick draw build with Plasma and stuff, and we just 2-0'd it. The opponent didn't draw too well, I think, and we got to Cat one of the games. So yeah, and then round three, that was the round I lost. We got our loss out of the way kind of early on in the event. That was against a Diva hero. I just kind of bricked. Games 1 and 3, I just drew a hand that was Arabellum, Mojo, Book of Moon, just a bunch of cards that don't do anything. And I had to wait several turns before I found literally any gas or any engine whatsoever. And that's basically what lost us that match.
That was against the top 4 Diva Hero player, correct?
Yeah, that guy was tied for third, I guess, with you. So I lost to him. And then round 4 was against this Vayu turbo build. I don't know how to call it. It had a lot of faster paced cards from Vayu Turbo, and then they were playing Miracle Dig to have more copies of Barra from the different dimensions. Essentially, is what the idea of that list was. It was a really cool list. I forget what happened in those games, but it was just a lot of these games kind of blend together when you're playing these slow ass games with Hamster Raikou and Giant Rat and Pot of Avarice, and then wait till you see Cat and whatever. So I don't remember the details too well. And then round 5 was against.
Round 4 was against.
Yeah, I skipped round 4. Round 4 was against you. You were playing the Chaos Fairy build that also got tied for 3rd/4th. And I think that was the match that you bricked. Was round 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was unfortunate. So we took that one, and then round 5, I guess, was the one against the Vayu guy. Yeah. So my bad. I got that out of order. Then we went to Top Cut, and I played against you again. And that time I just Giga sacked. I opened Minecon Cat twice, and it was just really mean. So I feel bad. Sorry about that. Anyway, after that we went to finals, and we played against the Flamville player, and we had some pretty good games against the Flamville player, I think. Got to summon out King of the Beasts a bunch that day. It was very fun. But we took that one 2-0, I think. Just kind of grinding it out. So yeah, after that we were crowned the winner. We were bestowed with the box, and rest is history. So now we can talk about the deck list. So first of all, we got to get into the Moja cards here, which are of course the main headline. So we're on 1 King, 1 Beast Striker, and 2 Moja. Now, I was on 2 and 2 of these. The reason, basically, I'm very finicky about the number of normal summons that I play, and I had to cut one, and Beast Striker, the second Beast Striker, ended up being the one that got cut. Mm-hmm. So at that point, I was like, well, that's one less way to get this out of my hand. And you only really need one of this in rotation, and we're playing a super long game with all the milling where you basically just try to see everything. Eventually it should show up. If you're shuffling your deck with Avarice and milling and all of that.
Because you can only control one anyways, right?
You can only control one, which is a really weird thing on the card. But yeah, So we went 1-1 on these. You could go 2-2 as well. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I just like opted for a slimmer version in this build. But I think 2-2 would be fine. And then you have to play 2 Moja because you just always need to have 1 in deck for Beast Striker and Rescue Cat. So minimum 2 of this. Yeah, if you don't know what these cards do, this card lets you tribute a Moja to special it from hand or graveyard. It's like a whack Machina Fortress. This card lets you pitch a card from your hand to special Moja from your deck, so pretty good. It's like 1850 as well, and this is 25. And then Moja is a level 1. You tribute it to get out King, and then also it's a sort of weird battle recruiter that like adds back a level 4 beast from the graveyard. So it's nice that they gave it an okay-ish sort of effect. Obviously, could be better, but yeah, that was the Moja engine that I played. And then the rest, there's a lot of other stuff going on in here, of course. So we've got the cat stuff. You just like bare minimum cat stuff. You have to play all this. These 2 let you get to cat, and then 2 air bombs. I could conceive of a build that played like 3 air bombs just because you can like add back the cat with Mojo maybe. But we were just like full in on Pot of Avarice, so I figured we could get away with just playing 2 and having 1 less like pseudo brick. I know Airbellum isn't always bad to draw, but like it can be a bad draw, especially going first and stuff. It's not really a starter. So that's the cat ratios. Should be pretty like standard, self-explanatory. And we also played a giant rat sort of thing going on in this deck. It gets you into cat and into Moja, and then also the other targets are Granmole and Card Trooper. Granmole, just insane card. It was like the best card in the whole deck, honestly. That weekend, it felt like amazing. Just every time we got to it, so good. It just like eats synchros, eats Ab Zero. I just permanently puts back their set monsters, tempos out of the opponent. It's such a good card. Then Card Trooper, obviously very solid normal summon, one of the best in the entire format. Just completely contests any 1900, trades well into Hamster Raikou, trades well into everything. Also gets some mill going to get your Avarice live, so I think minimum you have to play these 2 if you're playing Giant Rats. And then, like I said, you always also get into Cat if you need it. You also get into Moja if you need that. And it's also a level 4 beast you can add back off Mojo, which is a big reason to play it. And post-board, you can get into Fossil Dyna. So the Rat just does so much in here. It's such an important critical piece of the deck. And then also we're on Hamster Raikou. I could conceivably see playing a second Hamster, because it is a level 4 beast, so it does have that kind of inherent synergy. Like I said, we just had like a finite level of normal summons that I was willing to play in here, so I ended up playing 1. And then like essentially the graveyard's sort of like a toolbox for the level 4 beasts with the Moja. You just like mill a bunch of stuff. You could add back a Hamster, you could add back the 1 Beast Striker. It's kind of the thinking, but like I said, you could add a second Hamster because it's a good starter. I was never really upset to draw it. That being said, 2 Hamster with 3 Raikou in charge is kind of a little bit excessive in my opinion, but it is like does have a lot of synergy with the deck as well. So I could see 2 Hamster. It's just like you got to shave the normal summons down somewhere if you want to switch any of this around. Then Gore's Trag. I play these in like everything. I mean, they're good cards. What can you say? Also played 1 Sidra. I just wanted another like card that was not a normal summon, that was a monster that I could mill to like get up my Pot of Avarice setup. Because I wanted to have like minimum 20 monsters in here. So Sidra's decent. Like we don't play Caius, so we don't play the 3rd Airbellum, so it's not as good as in standard Synchro-Cast. I just played like 1. It's got some good matchups in the meta too. Very good against like Hero Beat and stuff. Just like contesting a back row or whatever, forcing something out. So Sidra's good. Spell lineup, we have the 1 charge. Of course, I mentioned this earlier. We want to have as much milling as possible because we are on the 3 pots of Avarice. So important, I think, for any cat deck. This is like one of the big reasons to play the cat deck. We just have 3 pot in Edison format, and the card is so insane. Like some people are talking about how maybe I should play Kinkabayu. That's like some later technology that people play, but in this format, it's like we just have Cat and Avarice, so you don't need this Kinkabayu revive Mojo. You can just like put them all back and keep summoning them out of deck with Rescue Cat. So I think that's a lot better. Avarice is just so key to the deck. You always want to be seeing that card. So we are on maxed out 3 copies. Then we got a bunch of staples. Brain. Of course, we play Mind Control and Cold Wave because it's Rescue Cat, and those cards let you sack the opponent with like Summoner Monk and whatnot. So yeah, and then the other spell trap removal, of course, heavy MST, standard staples. You play those in everything. The last spells are double Book of Moon. It's just like a defense option that also you can pitch off Monk if it's dead. And we play a lot of flip monsters too. And it can protect the recruiters from like battle traps or brain control. So it's got a lot of uses actually. Trap lineup, good cards. This is also a good card. This is basically a staple trap in my opinion. I play Call and just everything. Yeah, card's really good. Then we got double bottomless. I've warmed up to bottomless a lot recently, so I've started playing it and stuff. And then finally, to round it up, we played 2 Legacy of Yadas. Conceivably, you could just cut this and then something else and then play 3 upstarts. I think that would also be fine. I just, like, got the list to a point where I didn't want to put more cards of any kind in, so I'm just like, let's just put some filler in. So I was on 38, so I just said 2 Legacy, whatever. Card's decent. Like I said, you could play upstarts maybe, but I think having Legacy in these slots was just, like, the best option I could find at the time, so I think it was pretty good. Also, like, it's just like noob filter people who blind space your Typhoon your back row, so I mean it also does that. Onto the extra and the side. I don't know, we can do the extra first, I guess. It's pretty boring. It's just like all the good extra deck cards. You know, Fortress Dragon, gotta play it. Mistworm. If you don't play Mistworm, you will regret not playing Mistworm. Especially because, like, Monk Cat makes Mistworm. I think I made Mistworm on stream once, so yeah. Then all of the 8s, just all the good 8s. Yeah, those 4. Then all the good 7s, because you make 7 a lot, because it's a cat deck. So we play these. We play the Arcanite Magician, just for the Monk. This is, like, the only weird one. Everything else is just, like, a generic staple. Speaking of generic staples, we got the Brionac, we got the Goyo Guardian, we got the 5s, we got the Armory Arm. Not a lot needs to be explained. These are just the good synchros, right? Just the good synchros plus Fortress Dragon. Super, super basic stuff there. Now let's get into the side deck. We got the second Cyber Dragon. Obviously, very sick side deck card. Should side in pretty much everything. Double Fossil Dyna. I mentioned this before. You can get it off Rat, and good for the Frog matchup.
Also lets you win Recruiter Wars.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. If they, like, ram in your Recruiter with a Recruiter, then you can just float into Dyna, and it stops their Recruiter. So, pretty funny thing. Most people won't do that, but some people will, like, forget. Double Crow. I mean, I like siding Crow. People have been siding it less. I think, I don't know. Double Thunder King. Yeah, this card didn't get sided in too much, actually. I sided in, like, once against Diva Hero going first, and then I sided it back out. So I'm not sure. Maybe I should cut this for something else. I just never played. No one's playing zombies anymore, so maybe I just shouldn't be playing Thunder King. Soul Release, just for frogs. Starlight Road, Mind Crush. I side those in a lot of decks. You know, I play back row, so if you run into, like, Lights Warrant or whatever, Starlight Road's pretty good, and then Mind Crush is good against so many things. Iron Walls, this was, like, the big sick tech of the weekend. Obviously very good against the hero deck, crazy against Vayu, crazy against just, like, so many things, actually, if you really think about it. Also shuts off. There's just so many, like, random cards that people play, like, on top of their main engine banishing. There's, like, Caiuses, there's Bottomlesses, there's Dimensional Prisons. Some people will side in Crow against you because they just want to stop the Pot of Avarice or something, so it just, like, bricks so many cards in so many decks, and we can afford to play it. We don't play a whole lot of things that need to banish at all. We don't play Caius. We do play Bottomless, I guess, which we can just take that out and play 2 Iron Wall instead. So I think if your deck can support Iron Wall, which is actually not a lot that can, you probably should play it. Double Dust, I mean, pretty standard side deck card. And then 1 compulsory. On top of Iron Wall, this helps you deal with Nobleman of Crossout game 2, which is the main reason that I sided it, but I don't think I ever got knocked at any point. Maybe there was a time when someone had a knock in their hand while I had Iron Wall face up, but yeah, I never got knocked. All right, so that was the whole deck. I think we've gone through it pretty extensively. Pretty hyped to have won an event with Moja. Definitely didn't expect to do that well. It was a great event, as I said. Everyone there, super nice, super cool, great to meet. Great to meet Gage and Joseph, and I went on stream for a couple minutes, did an interview. That was awesome. So everything was great. It was a great experience. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed me going over explaining the deck lists. If you have any questions, post them in the comments section. Be sure to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, all that. I'll see you next time. Peace out.
As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.